Welcome back to my channel, Bring Peace into Your Life. Today I would like to do a video about the news and how it can affect your mental health. The news is an important way to stay informed about what's happening in the world. It helps us understand current events, make decisions and connect with others. But it can also have a big impact on our mental health, especially if we're exposed to a lot of negative or distressing news. Here's how the news can affect us and some tips for managing it. Firstly, let's look at the way the news can affect your mental health. The news can actually increase stress and anxiety. Many news stories focus on violence, conflict, disasters, crime, or other negative events. Being exposed to these stories regularly can make us feel stressed, anxious, or worried about the future. We might start to feel like the world is a dangerous or scary place, even if we're not directly affected by the events. For example, if we see a lot of news stories about natural disasters, we might start to worry that something like that will happen to us or to people we love, even if the risk is very low. This constant feeling of worry and stress can take a toll on our mental health and well-being, leading to tension, restlessness, or even panic attacks in some cases. Another impact is feelings of sadness or helplessness. Hearing about people who are suffering or going through hard times can make us feel sad, compassionate, or even helpless. We might feel like we can't do anything to help, which can be very distressing. For example, if we see news stories about people who are homeless or who are affected by war or poverty, we might feel sad for them, but we might also feel like there's nothing we can do to make a difference. This feeling of helplessness can lead to feelings of hopelessness and despair, which can affect our mental health and make it hard to find joy in our daily lives. It can also lead to overstimulation and information overload. With so many news sources available, TV, radio, newspapers, social media, and online news sites, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the amount of information we're exposed to. We might check the news constantly throughout the day, or we might scroll through social media and see one negative story after another. This constant stream of information can lead to feelings of fatigue, difficulty concentrating, or even burnout. It can also make it hard for us to relax or to focus on the things that are important to us in our lives, like our family, friends, children, or hobbies. Being bombarded by all this news can lead to comparison and self-doubt. Some news stories can make us feel like we're not doing enough or like our lives are not as good as others. For example, seeing stories about successful people or about people who have perfect families or perfect lives can make us feel self-conscious or inadequate. We might start to compare ourselves to others and we might feel like we're not measuring up. This can lead to feelings of low self-esteem and self-doubt, which can affect our mental health and make it hard for us to feel confident in ourselves and our abilities. Another thing that can be affected is our sleep. Watching or reading the news before bed can make it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep, especially if the news is distressing. The stories we see or read can stay in our minds and they can make it hard for us to relax and wind down. It can also cause nightmares or vivid dreams, which can disrupt our sleep and leave us feeling tired and irritable the next day. Over time, poor sleep can have a big impact on our mental health, making us more likely to experience stress, anxiety, and depression. Next, I'd like to look at tips for managing the impact of the news on your mental health. Limit your news intake. Try to set a limit of how much time you spend watching, reading, or listening to news each day. For example, you could check the news once or twice a day for a short period of time, like 10 to 20 minutes, instead of constantly checking it throughout the day. You could also choose to check the news at specific times, like in the morning and in the evening, and then turn off the news and other sources of information for the rest of the day. This can help you avoid feelings of being overwhelmed by the amount of information you're exposed to and give your mind a chance to rest. For myself, I do this. I usually only watch the news at 6 o'clock. If there's news online or on any social media platform that I'm looking at, I usually avoid those parts of the platform because I don't want to be bombarded by everything that's going on in the world. Choose your news sources carefully. Not all news sources are the same. Try to use reliable, balanced news sources that present information in a fair and accurate way. Avoid sources that are sensationalised, biased, or focus on negative or distressing stories. You can also look for news sources that include positive stories or that focus on solutions to problems instead of just focusing on the problems themselves. This can help you get a more balanced view of the world and reduce the amount of negative news you're exposed to. Take a break from the news. If you're feeling overwhelmed or distressed by the news, don't be afraid to take a break from it for a while. You could turn off the TV, put down the newspaper, or unfollow news accounts on social media for a few days or weeks. Use this time to focus on things that make you feel good and that help you relax, like spending time with family and friends, doing a hobby you enjoy, or going for a walk in nature. Taking a break from the news can help you reset and recharge, and it can make it easier for you to handle the news when you do go back to it. I actually did this during lockdown. I got to the point, me and my partner, my husband actually got to the point where we just felt like it was too much. We were being bombarded every day, all the bulletins, all the check-ins, and we actually started to reduce the amount of time we watched the news and then really try and avoid it for quite a good period of time because it was just too much. It was massively overwhelming and we were being bombarded everywhere you went. We were being bombarded by negative news. So sometimes it is really important to just step away. If you can, focus on positive news stories. While it's important to stay informed about what's happening in the world, it's also important to focus on positive news stories. There are many websites and social media accounts that share positive news, such as stories about people helping others, environmental successes, or scientific breakthroughs. Make a point of seeking out these stories and sharing them with others. Focus on positive news can help you feel more optimistic about the future and reduce the impact of negative news on your mental health. Take action if you can. If you're feeling helpless or sad about something you've seen in the news, try to take action in a way that feels meaningful to you. For example, you could donate to a charity that works to help the people or cause you care about, volunteer your time at a local organisation, or sign a petition to support a cause you believe in. Taking action can help you feel more in control and less helpless, and it can make you feel like you're making a difference in the world. Even small actions can have a big impact. And practice self-care. Taking care of your physical and mental health can help you cope with the impact of the news. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Eating a healthy diet that includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains and lean proteins, and exercising regularly. Even a short walk or a few minutes of stretching each day can help reduce stress and improve your mental well-being. Do things that you enjoy and that help you relax, like reading, listening to music, painting, or spending time with loved ones. It's also important to talk to someone you trust about how you're feeling, whether it's a friend, family member, or mental health professional. They can listen to you, offer support and advice, and help you find ways to cope with the impact of the news on your mental health. We all get overloaded at times with the news, especially if there's really difficult things going on in the world at the time. I have found that recently it has been really difficult to watch the news with all the conflict that's going on in the world, and I find it really hard to switch off from that because it is very distressing. You see pictures of people being hurt, you see a vast amount of bombs and drones and warships, and it is very distressing. So for me, my focus is really on my family, on taking care of my family, taking care of myself, and really our part of the world, our small wee part of the world that is my safe space. So yes, I want to know what's going on in the world and I want to know what's happening, but there are times where I decide that I'm just going to limit that because is too much. I want to be informed, but I don't want to be overwhelmed and I don't want to be bombarded. So remember that you have a choice. You have a choice whether to switch on that TV to watch the news. You have a choice whether you're going to look up one of the online newspapers or one of the social media platforms that provides news information. So remember, you have a choice. You have a choice to step away. You have a choice to limit that amount of news coming into your life. And you have a choice to be more positive and try and not dwell on the negative that's going on in the world. I hope this video has helped you, and if you have an issue with the news affecting your mental health, please try some of the things that I've suggested in the video to help you move away from that and be less impacted. It's been lovely making another video for you. I hope everybody is well. Please take care and I'll see you in the next one.